There was this video I saw online and it really touches my heart. So I decided that I am going to share this video with you so that you guys can also watch and tell me what you think about it. But before we get to the video, I want us to discuss something. In all French-speaking countries in Africa, or in those countries where France still has so much control over, which of them is doing well? Which of them can boast of a good road network? Which of them can boast of really moving ahead? So with me here is a list of those countries that France still has a strong influence over. So let me read them to you. In West Africa, we have Benin, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Niger, Senegal, and Togo. And in Central Africa, we have Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Republic of the Congo, and Gabon. These are the countries in Africa that France has so much influence over. So, I want you, the viewers, to educate me on this or to share your thoughts on this. Which of these countries can boast of a semi-democracy? Which of these countries have good road network? Which of these countries have good unemployment record? Which of these countries have good human rights record? You see, my brothers and sisters, France's influence in Africa hasn't done anything good to these African countries. But before we move ahead, so that I may share my thoughts with you, please watch this video.
Oui, oui, c'est ça que moi, c'est ce que je te disais là, non? C'est ce que je te disais, non?
The video you just watched is from Mali. The Malian authorities have said that France must go. That for the number of years that France has been involved in Mali, France hasn't done anything significant to protect the country. That even though France was in the country, jihadist groups were springing up from all over the place. So France has to go. And since France is leaving, they are now so angry and they have decided to destroy anything that they could not carry. Anything that couldn't be taken back to France is to be destroyed. You can see how they are destroying those vehicles. Those are good vehicles that could be donated to NGOs. They could even be donated to public hospitals. But look at how those vehicles are being destroyed. If people in Africa see this, how can they really like the French? How can they really like Emmanuel Macron's administration? Emmanuel Macron complains about anti-French sentiment in Africa. He complained that Africans are becoming more and more unfriendly to France. But he forgets to put into consideration what France has done in Africa. He forgets to put into consideration all the things that France has been doing to Africans. The video you just watched is an example. France has done a lot of things in Africa. A lot. You can even remember in the, I think, 1958, when Guinea-Conakry was fighting for their independence, and how they rejected Charles de Gaulle's constitution. And they said that they wanted to form their own country. They wanted to be their own people. You all know what happened, right? But for those of you who do not know, let me read an excerpt from an article. This is an article that I found online about what the French did to Guinea-Conakry in 1958. Guinea was the only country on the continent that defied the colonizers' expectation and voted against the new constitution, and by extension for independence. The consequences of Guinea's defiance was that it became the first French colony in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence, a historic feud that awoke the rest of Franco-Africa to France's referendum bluff. By the end of 1960, 13 more French colonies in Africa had negotiated and fought for their independence, but the French had not left Guinea's rebellion in 1958 unpunished. So according to this article, when Guinea rebelled and asked for its independence, many other countries saw this and said, oh, if Guinea could ask for their independence and get it, maybe we also could try. We also could ask for our own independence. So many countries in Africa use this opportunity to ask the French for their own independence. France was very angry about Guinea-Conakry's rebellion because it opened up a precedent for other countries to ask for their independence. And if there's one thing about France that you might not know, hear this: France never forgets. They never forget. They will get back at you when you least expect it. So anyone on the bad side of France should be very careful. Always watch your back, because if there's one thing about France, they never forget. So this should go to Mali, this should go to Burkina Faso, this to Congo, this to Central African Republic. Watch out. Let's continue with the article. France responded to Guinea's independent vote with dramatic decisions. In reaction, and as warning to other French-speaking territories, the French pulled out of Guinea over a 2-month period, taking everything they could with them. They unscrewed light bulbs, removed plans for sewage pipelines in Conakry, the capital, and even burned down medicines rather than leave them for the Guineans. The pettiness bordered on heroic comedy. The French literally pulled down buildings too, just so the newly free Guineans would have to start from the ground up. You can hear what they did, right? So in the 1960s, when France was about to leave Guinea as Guinea Conakry, they totally ruined the country. And they did that deliberately because this was supposed to send a strong signal to other French speaking countries who might be having some wrong ideas from Guinea Conakry. So they were like, be careful. Don't follow in Guinea's footsteps because if you do, we will make you suffer. Yeah, we will make you suffer. So they punish Guinea Conakry severely, but the country and its leaders stood their grounds. They stood their grounds. So this goes to tell you that France is not a friend of Africa. France is not a friend of West Africa. And all the French speaking countries in Africa are not friends with France. France doesn't care about the people. France doesn't care about the country. France doesn't care about what you think. France cared about one thing and only one thing alone. That is what they can get out of you, what they can extract out of you. That is all what they care about. The video you just watched can prove that. With all the NGOs in Mali, with all the poor people in Mali, with all the suffering people in Mali, France could not donate the vehicle to them. France would rather destroy the vehicles than donating to them. So Africans, please open your eyes. Shine your eyes. Wake up and look at the handwriting on the wall. Wake up and face reality. Wake up and be your own man. Embrace your destiny. Take your destiny into your own hands. You must build yourself. So I am happy for Mali, for the direction they are taking. Malians should fight their fight by themselves. Let the French move out. Let them go. They have been there for decades, but nothing has changed. Instead, they have exploited the countries. They have harvested from the countries. And do you know that those countries in Africa that uses the French CFA pay taxes? Yeah, they pay taxes to France for using the CFA. That goes to tell you that France is really feeding hugely from Africa. France is feeding itself and getting fat while Africans are starving and dying. But my brothers and sisters, times are changing. Africa is waking up. People have realized that they need to take their own destiny into their hands. And they are doing just that. So, to you guys out there, what do you have to say about France's involvement in Africa? Has this involvement benefited the common African? Has those countries that speaks French benefited from France's involvement in their countries? Please let us know in the comment section below because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, if you came across any video like the one you just watched on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, or even on TikTok that you thought is worth sharing with the rest of the world, please send it our way through any of our social media platforms. We shall talk about them on this show. Kindly support the show with $1 or more through the crowdfunding website Patreon, or send it directly to us through our personal PayPal account. You have no idea how far your support and donations take us. And we shall forever be grateful to you. Kindly like this video, share this video, leave a comment below. Follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Little deeds of goodwill like this helps the channel a lot, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one. And cut.